Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. It is myself and Lance. I had not planned, obviously, to stream today, and the video idea that I had was something that was like I was going to record it later because I'm going to see a movie in a little bit. But then this news dropped, and I'm like, I don't have time to edit or make a video for today. So I'm like, I'm going to go live for a little bit. So this is going to be a normal live stream. We're not going to be live for like 2 hours. Literally, we're just going to talk about this story, and then you guys can ask questions or drop some super chats if you want, and we'll talk about those as well. Lance, you already did a video on this, so go over after our stream and check out his channel. He's got a video with he reads a different article. So, but we're going to be talking about the big news, which is The Flash season 9 is the final season of the show. They are wrapping it up. They are ending the series. Contrary to all of the clickbait articles and the haters that want to use the word canceled, the series, it's not even in production. They're not even filming yet. So this is literally them being able to wrap up and finalize their story, which is something they did not extend for Batwoman or Legends of Tomorrow, which makes me very salty. Super, super salty. But this news did not surprise me. Lance, did this surprise you at all? Were you shocked?
I wasn't shocked that the news came out. I was shocked that it came out on a Monday, the first Monday in August.
And so early. The show isn't even on the air yet.
Yeah, because I saw a tweet from like an insider saying huge Flash news coming. And I'm like, it immediately hit me. I'm like, it's going to be the final season announcement.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to read this article quickly. Gary's got a super chat. Let's do this first. 199 super chat. Will Superman season? No, I don't think so. I think Superman.
Honestly, with the CW, they might not even call it a final season.
That's true. That's true.
Canceled.
But if they are intending to do like spinoffs of Superman and Lois, I don't think it'll be the final season. If we don't hear about a spinoff next season, I would be worried.
If we don't hear anything about Justice U within the next 2 or 3 months, then I think that's officially dead. Because
that's it.
What other shows he's on? What is he going to direct? Just Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
That directing deal that's as good as dead now.
It's getting thinner and thinner. Like what's left, honestly. Okay, so let's read this and then we'll give our thoughts on it. The Flash to end with abbreviated season 9 on the CW. Now they're going to get 13 episodes, I believe, is what was said in this article, which adds up with the math that we were doing over the weekend. With between Canada graphs and everything, like the filming schedule, how many episodes they would actually get. All right, so it goes, it's official. The Flash upcoming 9th season will be its last. The CW on a Monday announced that its Grant Gustin-led DC Comics superhero drama from Warner Brothers TV and Greg Berlanti Productions will end with a 13-episode final run. That all adds up. The math is mathing right now. Yeah. The conclusion of one of the network's most watched shows will air in 2023 as part of its mid-season roster. Production on the final season will begin next month. We knew that already. And then we have some stuff here from Eric Wallace. We're going to read through this. 9 seasons, 9 years of saving Central City while taking audiences on an emotional journey full of heart, humor, and spectacle. And now Barry Allen has reached the starting gate for his last race. So many amazing people have given their talents, time, and love to bring this wonderful show to life each week. So as we get ready to honor the show's incredible legacy with our exciting final chapter, I want to say thank you to our phenomenal cast, writers, producers, and crew over the years who helped make The Flash such an unforgettable experience for audiences around the world. Okay, before we move on, I want to kind of stop there. That sounds like a very PR written statement. Like we know Eric Wallace is off the cuff. He's literally off the when he talks about stuff, he says all kinds of wild stuff, right? That sounds to me like that was written up like weeks ago. Like they knew about this and he was ready to just drop this quote, right? How do you feel about the show ending with Eric Wallace as the showrunner? Because that's quite, I mean, it's been a controversial show, right? So do you think he's going to be able to pull this off? Because this is a big thing to wrap up. Keep in mind, they thought season 8 was going to be the wrap up, and we saw where they went with season 8. So now he gets 13 episodes to really wrap up all the storylines. You're sitting in the room and they're putting you like you're on trial, and the lawyer asks you, he goes, do you think he's going to do a good job with season 9? You've already sworn on the Bible. You're ready to give your statement. What do you think?
So I'm on the stand and sworn on the Bible. Yeah. I want to say yes.
Okay.
I want to believe that he can do it because we know that Eric Wallace can tell really good, well-crafted stories. The whole first half and even part of the back half of season 6 was really good.
Mhm.
Armageddon, yes, it had its pitfalls in it, but it was good.
Right.
We know he can do it. If he can just focus, like I said it in my video, focus, don't cram any unnecessary characters. We have 13 episodes. It's no need for graphic novel. Let the whole 13 episodes be a graphic
No
novel.
interludes. No interludes.
interludes. No, don't cram in unnecessary
No time
characters if they don't
sickness.
fit. No time sickness. Don't have Iris in Cancun for 12 of the 13 episodes.
Oh,
Let Grant be in every single episode. Have it be the flashiest Flash stuff we've ever seen, and I'll be happy. I
Right.
can care less about cameos or anything. They would be nice, but if we could just get Grant versus several different big bads, bring back Wentworth Miller.
Mhm. This is it. This is the final season. If you're
This
going to
is
do
the last
anything, you
hurrah.
have to do it now. That means Wally needs to come
Exactly.
back. Wally needs to come back. We need to wrap up all these stories. And to be honest, right now, with the way season 8 ended, there's very few things left to really wrap up. So it's about bringing characters back and giving them a little bit of closure. And I think that's fine. And I would be okay with that. And if you think about it, the way we set up the next season, we have the opportunity to tell a really big story if they're going to do Cobalt Blue for the final season.
Yeah.
Right. All right. A couple super chats and we're going to finish this article. Anthony Beltry has a Team Eric member chat. So season 9 budget with 13 episodes should be good. I mean, maybe. I'm assuming they're going to get the same budget.
Either way it goes with that budget, remember the budget isn't gonna affect how good your CGI is. It's about how much time you have.
Yeah.
And if they start filming in September and it doesn't actually air
until 2023,
like probably the middle or end of January, you know, their stuff should look pretty good. Like they should have a few episodes in the can that they can polish up.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Let's jump through these super chats. Gary with 19 super chat. Do you think Stargirl will get a season? It's too early to tell with Stargirl. If they're going to get a season 4, it'll probably get announced during season 3. So we need to get into season 3, which is just a few weeks away, and then we'll find out.
Just hope that after the first episode they don't cancel it.
Oof. Because that they finished airing. I mean, they filmed that like months ago, so there would be no way to wrap up anything. Silent Angel with a $10 super chat. I wasn't shocked. I'm just sad. When I started watching the show, I was in middle school. Now I'm doing college. The show was an integral part of my life and the end of an era. It is. It's going to be this is the end for the Arrowverse. This is it. This is the wrap up. If there's any hanging threads in the Arrowverse that need to be wrapped up, if they don't do it in this season of The Flash, chances are it's not going to get wrapped up. So RIP the dream for Legends and Batwoman. I mean, unless they make a cameo to tie up some loose ends in The Flash and 13 episodes, I don't know if they're going to have time to do that. But I feel your pain. The first show I started reviewing regularly on my channel for DC TV shows was The Flash and Arrow. I started with Flash season 1 at the end of season 1. So I've been doing it since the first season. And so, yeah, it's bittersweet for me. You know, we've got shows on the horizon, but I'm going to really miss this show. It was, even when it was cheesy, I still really loved it. So what were you going to say, Lance? Sorry.
It's ending just when I started reviewing.
Yeah. Well, you know, I will say we've got other shows on the horizon. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that we got some really good content coming. Thomas here with a $5 super chat. Any Team Eric member. I was in high school when The Flash started. It's been 2 years at college, done my undergrad, about to graduate with my master's. So it's been there for you all this time. You know, I wonder how the internet would have reacted if Smallville were on right now, thinking about what it went through and how long it was on the air, and how people would feel. Because I think it would be similar. And I also think it's really sad that people are taking this moment, as usual, to attack people who love the show by, you know, using the word canceled or saying that they axed it. And it's like, clearly that's not what happened, but the connotations is that people want to use that to try and like make the people that love the show feel bad.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. They already feel bad. So you're taking joy in the misery of other people. I said the same thing with Batwoman and Legends. Like, you don't kick people when they're down. You're punching down. Not cool. Okay, Thomas here with $2 super chat. Does this reduce the chance of a Grant cameo in Flashpoint for the Flash movie? No, that would have been filmed already. That would have already been done, and that movie will come out. When is it supposed to be released next year?
In
Flash
June,
movie?
so it'll come out at least
Right
a
after
week
the end of the
after
Flash, or
the
right
end.
around the
Yeah.
time the Flash is ending. So no, I think it's still possible if they filmed a cameo for it. There's some people that are saying the reason the Flash is wrapping up is because Grant is going to take over as the new Flash in the DCEU.
Sad to say, if any of those people are on here, they're not bright. All right.
Wow.
And Parth, Pagey used canceled in his video, but it was in reference to a canceled Wally West appearance in season 8. That video is about season 8 and Wally appearing in season 9.
Yeah,
Pagey hasn't spoken on season 9 ending yet.
Let me tell you, I've been in touch with Pagey, and he has not responded. So he might not have even seen the news yet. So, or if he has, he hasn't made a video on it. So, just so you know, a lot of creators pre-record and time their video uploads. I do it. Everybody does it. So a lot of times they will go live when something breaking happens, and it's just unfortunate the timing of that. But yeah, he's that wasn't in reference to season 9. Gary with the 49 super chat. Do you think they will end the Flash? He will die or just give up being the Flash? We have to watch and see. I think killing off the character would be kind of stupid. So I hope they don't go that route. The only way I will allow that to happen is if he becomes the lightning bolt that gives him his powers. That's the only way I'll allow that to happen.
I honestly think he's just gonna keep being the Flash. We just won't see him.
Right. Because think about it, the future still happened. We know that we weren't going to be watching the Flash until 2049, and we know that he's still alive in 2049. So it does kind of hurt the potential of a spinoff with the kids, though, because if this is the end of the Arrowverse, the kids not being able to interact with their father would be kind of a problem because they always time travel. So
yeah, these Earth Prime comic books are well timed, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Jen here with a 1999 super chat. Thank you so much, Jen. Eric Wallace has not done the best job the last couple seasons, saying this will probably be his best season. I'm going to be honest. He only made episodes out of 2 seasons that were good. My 2 cents. That's not your opinion isn't like your own. Like a lot of people feel the same way you do. You're in the camp with a lot of people who also feel like he hasn't been the best showrunner. I've been very critical of his work. I've not enjoyed all of his stories, and I think some of his writing has been a little wonky. But we know that he is capable of doing better. That's the thing. We know he's capable of it. It just matters how well it's applied to the show. Because I would say Armageddon and Bloodwork are the 2 best things that he's ever done on the show.
Yep.
And so it's possible he's capable of doing it. All right, let's read this one last part here. News that The Flash is coming to an end has been widely speculated since before the 9th season was officially announced as part of the CW's early renewals in March. The series was poised to end with season 8, but both the network and the studio were able to ink leading man Grant Gustin and co-star Candice Patton to new deals, which makes me wonder, was this about the 2 of them not wanting to commit to another season? Because we know they were going season by season. That paved the way for a 9th season and Wallace and the company to rework last season's ending, which was initially scripted as a final season, as rumors about the show's conclusion had circulated so much of the past year. And he goes, season 8 finished its run on the CW's most watched shows of the past 21-22 broadcast cycle, averaging north of 1 million viewers and ranking among the most streaming series on digital platforms. So there you go. For all the people that were talking trash about it, it was still doing really well. So this has to be a mutual decision from the creative side.
Yep.
Cal with the 49 super chat. I was in elementary school when The Flash started. Now I'm going to be a senior in high school. Wow, Cal.
The Flash started 2 years before I got married, and it will end when I have 4 kids. So yeah, think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's holy cow. All right. Naruto here with the $5 super chat. Will the After Party be titled The Arrowverse is Dying this week? We're going to have a lot to talk about. We had originally decided we were going to do some sort of a debate thing, but I think we need to dedicate it to the future of the Arrowverse, or the not so future of the Arrowverse at this point.
And sadly, I will not be a part this week. I have a busy weekend. Full of.
You got a baby on the way, so
yeah, I have a busy weekend.
Yeah. All right, so we have Martin here with a 99 super chat. They better use Matt. The show will never hear the end of it if they use Tom. Also, it seemed that David Ramsey. Let's talk about that. The David Ramsey interview. We talked about it briefly before we turned on the cameras. So the one thing about that interview that I was suspect about was his information about the Flash ending, because it seemed like, how would he know that? But this makes me wonder if, even though they're releasing the news now, they might have known this a while ago. Would you say that's true, or do you think he was just kind of guessing that it was the end?
I still think he was guessing the same way we were all guessing. Like Paige said it numerous times. I said either 9 or 10, but most likely it would be 9. Just going based off of what the CW is doing, no matter how good the Flash is, no matter how much the CW loves the show, they're going in a whole completely different direction with this network. So he could have been guessing just like we were guessing. It just so happens, I mean, it's weird timing that he said that a couple weeks ago, and then now this happens. But I mean, everybody going on saying,
so
"Oh,
do
he
you
was
believe,
right, yada yada yada." It's weird.
Do you believe that the other stuff was true, like the Justice U stuff and the Gotham Knight stuff being connected to Superman and Lois? Do you think that was true, or
Gotham Knights? No, Justice U. I mean, it would. Justice U would only.
So you still believe that Gotham Knights is its own little thing? Like, it's not.
I mean, we're being completely honest. Justice U does not have a huge fan base, and I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a Naomi.
Yeah.
It will get to the second to the last episode, and it will be canceled if it makes it that far.
Right. So I think Justice U, no offense to David Ramsey, I love Diggle, one of my favorite characters. I don't think that show functions without connections to these other characters.
Nope. And honestly, he can say that it's still in production. Eric Wallace can say it's still in the planning stages. Eric Wallace has no qualms to that show. The same as David Ramsey can't say anything and confirm it about the Flash.
Right.
So, I mean, we haven't heard anything. The last we heard of Justice U was last year, right? I'm not holding my breath.
Right.
Because that could have premiered. It could have been premiering this season.
And if you think about it, this would have been the perfect season to announce it if you're going to be ending the Flash, like wrapping up the Flash, right?
Yep.
So if you're wrapping up the Flash and then announce Justice U.
Yep. And you know what else pisses me off about all of this? If you were going to end the Flash this year, why not just let Legends and Batwoman end this year? You literally let Black Lightning and Supergirl end in the same year.
Yeah.
Like.
So this is why we haven't heard anything from Paige yet. It's still very early in the morning. So
and like, let's just be honest. It's the CW is not for the fans anymore.
Right. Okay. So now that we've processed the news, I want to talk about what I think is happening with the CW in general and sort of my prediction coming true. And I'm not happy that I was, right about this. With the CW and the sale and the acquisition and all that stuff, they are looking to maximize their money because they basically jumped onto a sinking ship of money. Like, they have so much debt that the studio was basically, so all that debt was being held with the two studios. And now the two studios are like, we don't have that debt anymore. So basically they walked away from all of that debt and now it's on Nexstar, right? They're buying cheap shows that are already done. Like, the production cost is nothing. They're buying the rights to air stuff on the CW that has already been released in other parts of the world. Very cheap reality shows. And I said that this is the future of the CW once I found out that this was going to be happening, because they need to recoup their losses. Because everyone that made videos that said that they bought the CW for $0 are idiots. They did not buy the CW for $0. They accrued all that debt from the CW. That was their payment for the network. And now they have to pay that money back because they're new owners and the debt collectors are calling. Because they're when they were working with the studios, they could say, "Oh, we trust you. You're Warner Brothers. You're CBS. We trust you, Paramount. But these new owners, they may not trust them. They may have called that debt. They may have said, no, we want our money back now. We want it back now. You have 1 year to pay us back.
Yep.
Which means that they have to recoup that money. So they're cutting losses on things from old contracts, which is why I think Superman and Lois and Stargirl are sort of safe at the moment because they're a newer contract, whereas The Flash was antiquated. That show's contract had been updated since the first season, and everybody was signing back on, and everybody was asking for a lot more money. I'm sure that Grant and Candace were not cheap. So this is what I feel is happening. And I will say a year from now, probably, where are we at now? We're in August. We're in August. So a year from now, the CW is going to be primarily reality TV.
Reality TV or 30-minute sitcoms.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a different network. And I'm holding out hope that some of these shows coming out on HBO Max are really solid because I like talking about superhero TV. And I like weekly releases because it gives me a chance to really like talk about it and theorize about it. Even if it's a streaming service like HBO Max or something else, as long as they don't drop like 20 episodes in one night, I feel like that's good. So it's kind of like, I love these sort of like cheesy, network shows, and the CW was primarily the source or the outlet for these shows that were not cheap enough for regular network shows to pick up like NBC and stuff, but also not as expensive as something that would go on HBO Max. So it was those in-between type shows. And I'm worried the CW is just not going to be into that anymore, which is why stuff like Gotham Knights and that's already getting one season, and Justice U, that who knows what's going to happen with Justice U, it's kind of up in the air at the moment.
And honestly, that whole debt thing, that's the CW, and not even the CW's fault. That's WB's fault and Paramount and Viacom.
They never paid it off and just let it ride.
They let it ride, and then you keep and I get it. You want to have content, but you keep developing these failed pilots, these failed TV shows, and anybody that says that's not what the debt is about, if that wasn't the case, then WB, Zaslav, and people at Paramount and all the people at Nexstar, they wouldn't be axing shows that literally just started.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these shows that are on the CW should have been canceled a long time ago.
Right.
Dynasty, the Charmed reboot, they weren't getting views. It's just wasted money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you end up with that much debt. So the people coming in to take over are like, well, that's gone. But shows that are like doing good, like Superman and Lois and Stargirl, that are taking their time putting out quality content, they're going to be safe for now. But who's to say they will be
if they
months from now?
I'm going to say if they underperform at all this season.
Yeah.
Because Nexstar is looking at live numbers. They want the live numbers. That's where they're making their money at now.
Yep.
And their original content is going to be very cheap. I would not be surprised if we have a bunch of Jersey Shore type shows next summer on CW. Would not be surprised at all.
Chad, I tried to warn y'all back in December. I said TV as we know it is over with. We got comfortable in that pandemic. It's over with.
And the other thing is that when it comes to shows and pilots that are canceled, what happens is these companies pay for them to make the pilot because they believe in whatever the idea is. Or somebody will shoot a pilot and then try to shop it around. They'll pay for the pilot, and then that becomes a tax write-off. A lot of people don't realize that. If a network pays for a pilot, there is a security on that payment that they can write it off as a tax expense. So a portion of that money does go back into the company, but then there's always that lingering amount that just sits there, and that piles on top of the debt as well. So the debt is a combination of failed pilots, of advertising cost, of shows that never made their money back. How many shows that they put out like 2-3 seasons that never did good on streaming and they never made their money back on it? I would go back and look at the last decade on the CW. There's probably a ton of them.
Yep.
But as long as you have Paramount and Warner Brothers sitting up in their castles, nobody was calling that debt. But now you have a new owner and the debt is being called. And this is what's going to be happening. Thomas with a $2 super chat. Do you feel the Arrowverse fans are disrespected by the CW? What do you think, Lance?
I wouldn't say it's just Arrowverse fans. I feel as a whole, and I'm not blaming it solely on the CW. The blame can be tossed between the CW and their parents, WB, and the new company Nexstar. Because yes, I have said it, they don't care about the fans anymore. And it's not just on the CW, film-wise as well. Think about how many people, no matter how much we talk about them, how many people want to see Henry Cavill back? How many people want to see Ben Affleck come back? It's across the board.
Yeah.
They're making decisions strictly based on what they can profit off of. These shows, no matter how much it sucks, they're not making them the money that they want to see. So we love Batwoman, but as much as it sucks, it was too little too late.
Yeah.
Nexstar came in and was like, okay, it's not, it picked up a little bit, but it's not getting the numbers that we want to see.
They didn't trust it. They didn't
streaming.
trust it. They didn't trust it. That was
they didn't trust it. And then they weren't gonna waste money renting the studio space.
Right.
When I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not an old WB regime decision.
And
that's new.
I do want to point out that I looked this up, and thank you for the super chat, Noah. I don't know if there's supposed to be a question attached, but thank you for the supporting the channel. I looked up how much those studios cost to rent, and it's a lot of money, but it is nothing compared to what they get on return for the shows.
Yep.
Like we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars versus millions of dollars. Like that's the exchange. So for them, it would be nothing to do that. So that means that Nexstar had no faith in Batwoman or Legends being able to make back money from studio space, which is crazy to me. Restore the Arrowverse. I never jump on any of those campaigns because I'm not in the business of wasting my time. And so, yeah, people always go, work with the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse was a very special situation where the network thought they could take that money, that spend a little bit of money on the fans that love Snyder and put something on HBO Max when they had nothing. So
that's all that was.
That's all. Yeah. They weren't doing that for the fans. It was never for the fans. So Noah, since you said a super chat and didn't put anything there, I'll answer this question here. What do you think will happen in season 9? I think they've got enough time now ahead of them that they will absolutely wrap it up. I don't think it's going to be a weird ending. I think they're going to give it a proper ending. I hope they do. Unless there's some potential for the kids to get a spinoff show.
And even then, I wouldn't trust the spinoff coming. It could just be canceled. Oh, here we go. Whoever's running the DC Arrowverse page has already put welcome to the Superverse.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Hold on. Is it on Twitter?
It's on Facebook.
Hold on, wait. But what is it? The Arrowverse page or whatever? Oh,
DC's Arrowverse.
Oh, it's not the official one, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna check Superman and Lois's yeah, they haven't posted anything since the 27th. Okay. I just want to make sure that wasn't an official name change.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a fan just posting what David Ramsey
I'm going to assume that everybody's, we might be in the minority with this, but I think that David Ramsey's interview now is going to hold weight with a ton of people.
And my thing is, you can't say majority of what he said came true if only one thing came true that everybody was already expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Steiger, we're at the 4.9 super chat. I'm really hoping the CW doesn't become a network for reality shows that gave a lot of decent scripted DC shows back in there. Well, they've already removed the Dare to Defy, which was a commitment to diversity and inclusivity and writing shows for everybody. That's gone. They removed that. That's not there anymore. The cancellation of a lot of inclusive shows and scripted TV shows tells me also with the pickup of several shows that are really cheap. Paige, you talked about it, a couple Australian shows got purchased. The what is it? The Great Chocolate Challenge or whatever. There's some chocolate show or whatever. That was on Hulu. It already had 3 seasons. So they bought that from Hulu to put on the CW because it had never aired on network television. With those kinds of purchases, it makes me lean towards the fact that we're going to see more reality shows on the CW. And I don't know if Lance agrees, but that's what I think we're going to end up seeing next year.
Honestly, I honestly think that.
You know, I'm going to use a reference of my generation that may not work for people now. But there was a network back in the 80s and 90s that had amazing content. And then when the internet started becoming a big thing and stuff became more accessible, they started to die out. And that network was called Music Television, or MTV. Now, MTV honestly was a music channel. They had music talk shows, they had music news, they had playlists and videos or whatever. Once the internet was able to share videos with people online, there was no reason for people to continue to watch a network that survived primarily on music videos. So what did MTV do? It released that formula that everyone follows now. It mass produced cheap to make reality TV shows. If you go to MTV now at any time of the day, most likely you're going to find cheaply made reality shows. And I can think of 5 of them off the top of my head right now. You got the Love Island, you have Catfish, you have all of the real world stuff that goes on that's still going on to this day. Paramount Plus is still making shows about that. You have The Challenge, which is basically the real world, Road Rules, all of those different shows together. And then you have all of the freaking like Teen Mom show. Like all of these shows were on MTV. They cost them very little to make and it dug them out of a hole. Now MTV is one of the most profitable networks because they spend so little money on stuff like Wild 'N Out. Things that they can just play. What was that other one? Ridiculousness. Like all of the Rob Dyrdek shows.
Silent Library.
Yeah. Things they can just replay for years and years and years. And it's original content that they own. This is the way the CW is going to go.
Yep.
Honestly.
And I saw a comment I wanted to comment on.
Okay.
Too.
Do you know which one it was?
Feather Guardian saying that he's not going to watch season 9 if Hartley Sawyer isn't brought back. That wasn't an Eric Wallace decision.
That was a higher up thing. That
was completely taken out of his hands.
Yeah.
Like he had no say so in that.
Yeah. All right, so this is going to be basically the 10-minute warning because we're not going to go on for much longer. I just wanted to jump on and sort of talk about this, and I think we've exhausted all of our opinions about it. So if you have any super chats or anything you want to add, like now would be the time to do it. 10-minute warning. Josh C with the $4.99 super chat. 10 years, 7 crossovers, 100 hours of TV. It was a hell of a ride. That's one of the ways you have to look at it. My only issue is how dirty they did Batwoman and Legend of Tomorrow, because at the very least, The Flash is getting 13 episodes, which is more than Arrow, to wrap up its entire series. Don't squander those 13 episodes.
And Eric that just Wallace. Makes it seem like, and even then, people are going to look at this like, oh, they're favoring Grant Gustin over the one actress that came in, took all the dirt, turned the show around, and then got thrown to the wayside a year later. It's not making the CW look good.
No. Well, I don't think at this point, though, I think they're done trying to appease fans. They got rid of the Dare to Defy. They're getting rid of shows. They don't, and people, it's not just The Flash, right? Look how many shows they've ended over the last 7 months now. They're down to like what, 5 scripted shows, and most of them are things they're guaranteed to make money on. And like the Walker spinoff and stuff like that.
They kept All American and All American spinoff. And then even then you can tell they're trying to get All American Homecoming to keep some traction because they put it on Netflix a week after they put it on HBO Max.
Yeah. They're double dipping. That's what they're doing. They're double dipping on it. Canada Graphs, will you guest star in the finale Chuck? I mean, maybe.
Canada Graphs, this season, all the pictures you take, they deserve to be taken on like one of those like ridiculously expensive cameras.
Flash Freak goes, I remember going on Netflix in 6th grade called The Flash. I loved it. I watched it live. Only missed a few Tuesdays ever since. I'm going to be a sophomore in college, about to be 20. So many people are sharing these stories, which I think is great, in the chat, where there's their journey with The Flash, and what it's meant to them. And I think that's wonderful. So many people have great memories of the show. And this is what a lot of people don't realize is when a show is on for as long as The Flash is on, it's not just a show people are watching because they're entertained by it. It becomes a part of your life. You know, it becomes something that you look forward to. And I think that's a really important thing to remember. And this just goes to show that Nexstar doesn't care about anybody. They don't care about anybody. They care about money. They got debt now. They inherited the debt of their forefathers and foremothers. So let's see, a couple more comments here. Trying to see if anybody has another. Oh, Feather Guardian goes, I wouldn't be surprised if Wally West didn't appear on season 9 since they already wasted Matt Lesher and the true Reverse Flash. I don't know. I think Wally would come back for season 9.
What does that have to do with the other?
Stagger for the 49 Super Chat. We can still get content from other studios like 20th Television or Sony. I mean, yeah, but not like DC stuff. DC's not going to.
20th century. Yeah,
Fox is now Disney, which means anything that comes out from them is going to be Disney adjacent.
Yeah. But
So
even then, we're not going to see none of that till what, 2025?
Yeah. I will say we're going to have tons of Marvel content to talk about because they're releasing like 5,000 things over the next 2 years. So
yeah, and then the only thing I have to look forward to this fall is Teen Wolf. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm excited because we have Stargirl coming up, so obviously that's going to be fun. And I'm going to hopefully Titans has a good season because I'm going to be reviewing that every week. So hopefully that has a good season. And then we have next year, we're going to have The Flash and Superman and Lois, and presumably Superman and Lois is going to continue on. We also have Gotham Knights to look forward to. So there's that. But
what if Gotham Knights completely rebrands and they just all suit up now? What if Gotham Knights is freaking amazing?
I don't think there's any chance of that happening, honestly. I don't think there's any chance of that. So, but yeah, you know, it's sad. We're going to be fine. There's plenty of content out there. I'm not worried about that. I'm just sad because this show meant a lot to me. And I really look forward every week to watching it, whether I was going to love it or hate it. And, you know, the last thing I'm going to say here is it's quite possible that this was not a Nexstar decision. It's quite possible this was not a studio decision. It's quite possible that Grant and Candace and everybody involved with the show were ready to move on with their careers. It's been 9 years.
Or since Candace put out her scathing expose.
If we hear between now and the end of the year that Grant is working on something else, do not be surprised. Because he may have got an offer to do a different TV show, or he might be in a movie or something. If that happens, do not be shocked that that's why he decided to move away from the TV show.
What if Grant is replacing Henry Cavill as Superman?
Isn't Superman his favorite superhero?
Yep.
Oh no. Is Superman and Lois in danger? Not right now, Elijah. I don't think they're in danger right this second. We will see how their numbers are, but Superman and Lois does really good live numbers. So we'll see what happens with that. I would say keep your eye on Stargirl. Stargirl is a show that it's not necessarily on the bubble, but their live numbers are going to matter a lot more now. And that's a show that did a lot on playback on streaming.
Yep.
And since the Nexstar is not making 100% profits from that, that's when you have to worry about. Anything that comes on now after Nexstar has acquired CW is guaranteed they're going to run it and make money on it on their channel. But stuff like Stargirl, not so much. Naruto here. Did you see the 16 minutes Gotham Knights game? No, I've watched videos of it, but not the full thing. Gotham Knights game doesn't look very solid to me. It looks like it's not as good as Arkham, and Arkham is the blueprint for Batman games.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think about it this way: it's not meant to be an Arkham game.
No, so, but unfortunately, everybody compares Batman to dark and gritty stuff, so it's really hard to I don't know. All right, this is the 2-minute warning. We're gonna get out of here in like 2 minutes. But my final word on this is, again, Not surprised, not shocked. The only thing that did surprise me about it is the timing of this news coming out so much earlier than the season, before production even started, and coming out on a Monday instead of a Friday, which is not normal for their big bombshell announcements typically. So there's that. Also, I think this sort of answers the question on whether or not there are going to be any crossovers with these characters on like Superman and Lois. I think the answer to that is probably no. Probably not. There would be no reason to at this point. So I don't expect that to happen either. And this also might explain why Superman and Lois decided to take themselves out of the Arrowverse. Maybe they were kind of privy to the writing on the wall for the Flash. Because that scene, no matter how they try to convince me or gaslight me that they thought about this all the way back in season 1 of Superman and Lois, that scene in the finale felt very pieced together and just kind of shoved in.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think when the general was talking, I was like, oh, this feels like an extra scene they filmed like very late in production. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat today for this kind of random live stream. You guys came in. We had almost 300 viewers, which is amazing. Hit the like button to help this video out. And yeah, if you missed any of it, it will be available in playback almost instantly because there's no editing to be done. So yeah, there we go. Lance has a video with his thoughts on this in detail with another article. If you want to go check that out, head over to Lance's channel. And thank you for being here, Lance. I asked you at the last minute if you want to join me, and you were like, "Yeah, cool." So
had to get my thoughts out now because I got to miss Saturday. So I said,
yeah.
why not?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, this Saturday, Paige and I, and we'll probably have some other guests, not Lance, obviously, but we'll have some other guests. And we're going to be talking about like what this means for the future of the Arrowverse. We have a full week to kind of think about it. And so hopefully you guys can make it. So join us this Saturday for the after party interlude, and we'll be talking about it there. Other than that, we are out of here. Thanks everybody for the support, and let's get ready for the final season of The Flash. Take care.